All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today's Wednesday, December 15th, 2025. If you haven't this already, please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and come find me on carnivoretrades.com. We're swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Hot start to the year, by the way, too. 5 for 5 in the trading room today. Also closed out a few winners in the swing service as well. Ironically, 3 of the trades I took today, the ones that I opened that weren't held, were all shorts, and they all paid out. So that was interesting. But hey, let's take a look here at the markets. Me, big perma bull, short scalping the big CPI move. But anyway, big move here for the spiders. We got all the way up to 594 and QQQ 518. I talked about this in the trading room, and the first thing in the morning I said, I think, if we get through 515, we're going to go to 518, and we basically kissed it right on the button there. But was CPI super cold? No, it was basically right. In fact, year over year, it was hotter than expected. But what happened? Doesn't matter, right? That was kind of the, and thanks to everybody who showed up for the live stream yesterday. It was a good time. But that's kind of, we talked about in the live stream yesterday, is like, I don't really think it matters what the number is at this point. There's so many hedges, and inflation expectations are already so high. By the way, I wrote a little article on this late last night. If you want to check that out, it's on Market Insights on the website, and basically just laid out the case for bonds essentially, with dealer levels and all that stuff. But in any case, market just heavily piled into yields, short bonds, long volatility, long hedges, and things of that nature. It's going to take a lot, right? When a stock runs 400% up into earnings, and then they report a smash quarter, the stock sells off, right? It's kind of the same concept here. So a lot of what's going on here today, a lot of what happened today was just kind of an unwind of that. And you can see here we went up kind of like gap and go style, pulled back, didn't make a new low, and then we flagged and just went higher. Usually when you trend like that, it is not after a 170 point move already, right? So we just trended 200 points in 3 days, not unlike what we did here. I'm just going to say right now, I don't really love this price action for bulls, and you might find that funny that I'm saying that, but you just don't want to like gap up like that and then kind of keep going. I think you want to see some organic buying. So I do think there are bears lurking, and to me, I mean, like, obviously you're seeing squeezing, but a lot of it is more, I think, mechanically driven and kind of just unwind. Take a look at the VIX. Look at VIXy today. This is a straight up whimper. Like, it basically cried into the close. So VIX 16. I think this could go to 15, maybe 14. And I think it gets supported there. But again, it's kind of more of an unwind. Now, another thing we talked about too, if we go to ES, and I mentioned this, but I previously had my trend line kind of like right here, right? Going back to the low. But now that we've had a significant enough move, we're just going to move that up, right? Move it to where the market is trading, right? So there's nothing saying we don't just, right? So I'm not saying that I'm bearish, but I'm definitely still neutral. And I'm just trading level to level. We were long yesterday, made some money today. And again, respect this market. You got to take gains level to level here. Until we start breaking above on SPX, we get above like 60-30, which would be, that would negate the FOMC. That would be right here. That would negate that FOMC sell essentially. We're not in melt up market, right? So, we see the whipsaw. Look at yesterday. Look at this, like 70 points here, 50 points, 40 points, and then boom, 120. Right, so you got to be taking gains level to level here. Don't get too excited on one side or the other here. Not a cowboy tape. Last year you could be a cowboy all you wanted. It was easy. It was really easy. Even here, this was a really easy buy. VIX at 66. Come on. So just pointing that out. Anyway, spiders, you do have a failed head and shoulders though. Well, I don't like these patterns. So failure there. And hey, guess what? The gap filled. So I was wrong about something. and it provided support is what I should say. Usually I just don't really like gap fills anymore because a lot of people are concentrated on them. They used to work really well 15 years ago, not so much anymore. But in any case, market's holding up here. Retrace levels, 5,900 would be your first point of interest. It's just a question of, do we go to the yellow macro trend line first, right? Or do we, gap down tomorrow, and do they kind of like make bulls sweat a little bit? We didn't build any support on the way up, so we've got some air to fill. The only other scenario here would be we go up there and then we just stall for a day and then they gap above, which that would be an impulse and you want to get the hell out of the way for that. But anyway, how's everyone doing? QQQ here, again, up 2.3. So again, good move, reclaiming the 50 moving average. Again, that falling wedge is still valid. So we'll see how that reacts. It probably can get there tomorrow. I really would just wish it would have gotten to like 490, even just 497, 498 would have been nice. I think that's by design too, and this is a theory I have too. I think somebody was trapped here and they needed a hand from, Jamie Dimon or somebody, because this is not how, right? Like looking at ES here, like you guys know this. If you've been trading for any amount of time, this is not how a market bottoms normally, right? Usually there's a pivot. People were looking for stops to get flushed, and that didn't happen. I think it was just a little rescue operation. But anyway, Qs, nothing getting to where it wanted to get, but doesn't matter. 20 MA, you can reclaim that, and you can reclaim all the moving averages. Additionally, one of the other things we said on the weekend is, again, there's no damage here on the weekly. So for all the hysteria, still just sitting pretty with a bull flag. And I can only just imagine the amount of anger that FinTwit would expel if we made new highs. IWM again up 2%, 1.97. Again, beautiful 618 hit, 200 MA, and long-term trend line too. So good pop there. Guess what level, guys? 225, right? We're back. You do have a little bit of a, I just noticed this now too. You could make a case that you got kind of like a Wyckoff kind of bottom, right? Double bottom, high, and then there's your spring. But it's got to get through 225. Diamonds, I believe that was at 4, I want to say it was up to like about 435 pre-market. Got close. If you can get above that, that can negate the FOMC. And then again, this is just program selling. This is just short selling. There's no, you didn't build resistance here on the way down. And on the weekly, we didn't really make a downtrend yet. Just retesting the green bar low, retesting the monthly bar low. Looks dramatic, but zoom out sometimes helps out. SMH up 2.3. Specifically NVIDIA, I'm just not really, this is definitely not a leader anymore, right? Up 3.4. This has got to reclaim 140. And then it can talk. The weekly is okay. But market Q's up 2.3% at one point today. At the end of the day, they're up 2.5 in NVIDIA. The Q's are almost up more than NVIDIA. Not really liking that. Maybe this rolls off after OPEX. It could happen here. Apple has been weak lately. Had a 2% update today. Microsoft up 2.5. That was strong all day long. So, yeah, SMH here. Back above 250. You can try for 260 again. IGV, trying to make that head and shoulder fail. Technically, it already did, but I'm just going to leave it there. We'll give bears the benefit of the doubt. 100 is a whole round number. We'll see if that gets defended. Look at the transports here today, too. Just bear flag. Oh, just kidding. Gapping up. Told you guys 16.2, 16.6. There we go. And where did it back off from? There it is. So good reaction there. And good bounce. Interest rates. And there's the dollar. The dollar is so stubborn. We'll talk about that in a second. But two's backing off here pretty sharply. A close below, I would say, yeah, 4.2 could take this down pretty sharply, maybe even back towards 4%. And then we got fives doing a 180. Tens outside move down, wiping out the last 2 days. And then my favorite, the long bond, which I do have via ZB and TMF. Wasn't sure if they were going to try and challenge double top or not. You know, if they came in with a hot number, do they like spike it up real quick? But very good outside move, wiped out 4 or 5 days of trading. And right now, I'm going to go check that article out as I talk about some pretty interesting stuff. I think this is an operation by the banks. Specifically, like how they got it down to 85 exactly on TLT. So banks are pretty short futures right now. But I think they're really long TLT at 85 based on the data I've seen. That said, TLT good bounce. I don't talk about this that often, but I came across these levels yesterday, and I think they're definitely relevant. So 87 is little resistance right now. Through that, I like it up to 90. Max bull case is 93. This is like over the next couple of weeks here. Not all of a sudden a bond bull, just so you guys know, but everything can be traded. We noted that this was, you know, a warning sign, right? Said it like ever since right here, the 8th. I said, why is XHB up with rates down, or sorry, with rates up? And it never really kind of followed through on the downside. Gap up yesterday, gap up today. Where'd it go? To our favorite level, 110, 111. We knew that was going to back off there. It's going to need to back off for a few days if it wants to break through that. VNQ, 0.5% gain again, little gap and crap there. That's still kind of soft, at least for now. Fins, a lot of banks reporting. XLF, bottom line up 2.5. And guess what we did? This is bullish. This is probably the best bull thing I've seen all day. Take a look at that. 49.30, closed above that. So XLF has negated the FOMC dump. That's huge for banks to do that. ARE up 2.5. This is actually one of our shorts today, and worked out nicely. This is going to take a few days if it wants to get through 64. I don't see it getting through that by at least Friday. But banks not doing too bad. We got more banks tomorrow, more earnings. There's KBE. And the broker-dealer's up big. Higher high now. So, no, back here we said, look, yeah, now there's a higher chance of a lower low, but we never made one. And now we got a higher high. So, broker-dealers cannot be stopped. What else can't be stopped is oil. So, CPI, CP nothing, 3.7% gain. And we're talking about 52-week highs here. I mean, we're basically there. Now, another article I did on the 28th of December, I said, look for energy to rip in Q1. Oil up 14% since I wrote that. XLE up 9, almost 10. Huge move today, up 1.5 into the 618. Now, I don't think this goes much past 93 or 95 here, but nonetheless, a pretty nasty move. XOP up 2%. It's not getting through 150 anytime soon, but it's a good move. And then OIH is not getting through 300. But very nice moves here in the energy space. So they finally gotten going. CCJ kind of on its own island today, not much going on, holding the 48 handle for now. And MMMJ have been quiet. So they have not done much here. Not much to really report on. Natty up 4. Again, really choppy, really wide range. Not for the faint of heart. You know, all I can say here is if you can sustain above, I would just say like 420. I mean, the monthly. Yep. You can sustain above like 420, 425. It's got a shot to try 460. Nat gas, when it goes, it goes. And it does not care because this is like the most, it's basically just a vehicle for short sellers to make free money 99% of the time until it doesn't. And you get these incredible unwinds. But yeah, I'd say 420, 425, they can get back above there. in better shape. Dollar is just unbelievably sticky, right? So CPI, bam, and then right back up like 2 hours later. Erased all of it, actually went green for a minute. It is still getting kind of top heavy. I want to show, I got the lines on this chart. Yeah, here we go. So following this trend line here, it's pretty steep too. This is getting up there. It's starting to get a little stretched. I thought this would have came in with bonds, so I was right about bonds coming in, but dollar not so much. Weekly overbought RSI. You know, it doesn't mean anything. It's a currency, but I don't really talk about this that often. I normally don't look at it, but euro versus the dollar, banks giggle long, and retail and hedge funds are really short. That should unwind in favor of the banks. Banks are usually early, but just keep that in mind. It's stretched. So it's still strong, but it's stretched and it's getting there. Gold up 1.4. It's trying to peak above this wedge. No changes. It's strong. You guys know I like it. Silver strong too, up 4%. Can you say? Platinum and palladium kind of bringing up the rear here. Well, platinum bringing up the rear. Palladium had a good day. You still got a little bit of supply right here, though. Copper up 1.2. This continues to go. So, you know, if you can get through this little area, I can see it at 450. Maybe a W bottom now, too. And you finally hear, by the way, you broke the streak of lower highs, too, recently. So that's important. Bitcoin, a lot of tether was just printed, as I understand. So that's interesting. We'll see if this ends up getting up to, I had an original target of about 115. Let me just take a look here. I'm just going to look at Feb really quick. I haven't checked it in a while. And it's still kind of 55, 60 on IBIT, so that's kind of like, the 60 might still be kind of hard to get through, but we'll see. Yeah, it's hammering on 100K. Nice liquidity grab, and that was, you know, maybe told us that the market was ready to bounce here. So Bitcoin's still strong. ETH up 6.75. You guys know I like the monthly a lot, and a lot of alts were up nicely today. XRP being the winner, new high there, 12%. So again, no problems here. I think weekly, I'd like to see just a little bit more. Weekly, I'd like to see just a little bit more time. It's almost there though. That weekly 20 MA is almost caught up. It's close. You get the best moves when you compress enough to let that moving average catch up. So we'll see if it happens. But anyway, really big move for the market's bottom line. XLF, that's important. What it did, and a lot of this is event vol unwind though, so don't be surprised if we have a steep retrace. Watch these macro trend lines here; they're going to be important. Definitely take gains level. Don't be greedy in this market. It's dangerous out there. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. See you guys all tomorrow.